Since the new Lightning update, Laloon has gotten so much stronger. The best thing is dragons have gotten stronger as well, and for those of you with low level heroes, any base that you cannot take out with that low level zap dragon attack is going to be much easier to take out with this. So let's not waste any time, let's get right into this army. Before we get into this, just know this is a relatively difficult attack. It's going to take practice. It's going to take looking at a lot of replays. I only have 2 replays in this video, but I'm going to leave a link in the description to Cast and Blast, the OG Queen Pop Laloon specialist. This is just one of 3 variations of low hero Lalo that I'm going to be covering, okay? This is the first one, using some lightnings to take out an air defense and then Lalo the base. There are 2 more variations coming. Just want to acknowledge they're out there. So before we go into it, this is a 3-phase attack, okay? You're going to use 3 or 4 lightnings to take out an air defense and as much extra value as possible. You're going to lure and kill the CEC troops, though there is an exception to that, and we'll get to that. And then of course we're going to sweep through the base with the Lalo, using the hounds to tank for the loons. So this is a pretty self-explanatory army, right? You're going to lure the CC with some loons, possibly a haste. You're going to drag the CC out with, most of the time you're going to use your archer. If there are witches, you will use your minion. And in the clan castle, you're going to have that high level lava hound, okay? If you can't get a level 5 or 6 lava hound, then you may want to consider bringing a 3rd lava hound in your camps, like they did in the old days. Now, most of the time you're going to bring a maxed level 9 lightning spell in the CC, because 2 of your level 6 lightning spells plus that spell is enough to take out either up to a level 25 queen and a air defense. And you're going to bring loons, which is going to do most of the DPS in this attack. The haste spells are to support your loons, and then the rage spell is to rage up the pups near the queen so that they can kill her very quickly. If you're bringing 4 lightnings, then you may want to consider bringing a freeze, either to protect your loons or to help retarget remaining defenses onto your hound, which I won't be showing in this video, but I will later. Now, I recommend screenshotting this page right here, because if you are using your lightning spells to kill the queen, then you're going to want to keep these combinations of lightning spells in mind. Play here, okay? So first we're going to look for some value, and the first thing you want to look for on these Lalos is where the sweepers are here, okay? So first question I want to ask myself is, do I have to take out a sweeper? Now, as you can see here, we got this pointing this way, this pointing this way, so that means if I just come in this way and work my way across the base and around this way, then I'll never have to fight those sweepers, okay? So what do I do to ensure I can go that way? Well, I can cut off the pathing by taking out some of these defenses, and after that I'll be able to lure by taking out this archer tower. And as long as I get to this mortar, I should be able to lure no problem. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go over here and I want to maximize the value from my lightning, okay? So I'm not just going to take out the air defense and the archer tower, right? I'm going to take out that archer tower as well. And I'm going to do it by putting it on that tile right there, okay? And I should be able to get all 3 of these, and that's exactly what's going to happen. And the way I'm going to kill the queen, you notice I don't have a poison, and the reason is I am going to end up on the queen, which means the hounds are going to come over here and the queen's going to lock onto the hound. And as soon as one hound is about to pop, I'm going to put the rage over here. Now I end up multitasking, putting it pretty shallow, more like over here, to both get some pups and allow my loons to go through the base, okay? So let's go ahead and get this replay going, and there's the lightning right on that tile there. It gets those 3, and you're going to see I commit 5 loons and a haste to my lure, okay? Those of you who are wondering how to get that lure with just loons, don't be afraid to use that haste. It's worth it. Now keep in mind, you have to also scout where the CC radius. So once my loons are in there, I know that there's a hound in the CC, okay? Now, you see this air skeleton comes up, and I don't put an archer, I put a minion because it's going to target that minion, and then I use a couple more minions to take that out, okay? Because if an archer somehow gets in range of that, which obviously it won't really, but I'm just playing it safe and I use the minion since they have a bunch of cleanup to start with here. And I start with a rage. I usually rage into the first air defense pretty quickly, right? And before, look, so before this air defense goes down, I already start this over here so that these hounds will go over there, and my hounds and my loons will never be naked. And by naked, I mean without tanking from the lava hounds. Okay, so let's go ahead and hit play. Hound goes over, and they're going to trigger the air bombs, which is exactly what you want. That goes down, and we have none of the hounds have popped yet, and all three of them are going to go towards the archer queen. Okay, which means that there's going to be plenty of pups to kill her. And as soon as and now look at how many pups are there. And look at how many are in that rage. She's already down to less than half health, and she's going to go down. Look at that. Boom, she is gone, right? And it doesn't matter if she's a level 30 queen. In fact, most of the time that can just make it worse because she'll take down the hounds more easily. And I still have one hound, unfortunately, with very little health. But usually if you can pop 2 hounds, then you should be fine on cleanup, as long as you're using minions to cut off these outside buildings here, like I have, okay? And the pups should be able to take care of the rest. There are some unlucky instances where they'll get killed by an air bomb, which is really unfortunate, but that's not going to happen here. And you'll notice I haven't deployed my heroes, and that's just because I don't want them to take out all the trash on the outside and then work their way into the base, into the range of that CC. I don't want that, okay? So right now, clearly I have the base under control, but I'm not dropping my heroes just because I don't want to take any chances with that CC. And because it's a hound in there, I just never had to deal with it. Or maybe it's a golem, I don't know. Usually people put a hound if it's something that's not found there. And that's GG with the swag haste. Nice and easy. Now, unlike the last replay, in this replay we're able to take out the queen and air defense and the sweeper at the same time. I'm going to wait for her to go right between them, and then I'm going to hit that. But first I'm going to lure the CC. I'm going to have the CC going over here while I'm waiting for that queen, which may have been a mistake, but there you go. There's the zap. I wait for her to go there, and then as long as she's within 1 tile away, she's good. Okay. Now, if you look here, there were 3 defenses here. Now, the expo is very harmful to your loons, and it's one thing I definitely want to get into quickly. Now, I know I'm going to have to fight the sweeper a little bit in the beginning, so you're going to see me use a lot of haste in the beginning. But anyways, I put haste loons on these 2 defenses so that they go here. And then once they go to this defense, look at what the closest defense is now. That's the expo, okay? And then as you can see, there's this defensive dead space here. So I know those loons, once they're here, will continue on with the rest of the loons. And that's the plan here. So I'll go back to normal speed. And as you can see, as soon as I see the sweeper start to become a problem, I drop my hastes. And look, before this air defense went down, I have my second hound in. Okay, especially since it's a max hound, that thing's going to last a long time. So it's not a bad thing to leave it early. And here we go, they're going through the middle here. Now keep in mind, this wizard tower is not shooting at my loons. Okay, yeah. Both of these wizard towers actually were shooting at the hounds, which is ideal. And I was a little bit haste happy and rage happy. I probably should have held that, because what's going to happen is this hound is going to survive, which is not ideal. But as you can see, my max hound popped and my first hound popped. If 2 of your hounds pop and you take down all the defenses, then cleanup usually isn't an issue, but you have the 7 minions just as a precaution. And it's really just that simple. It had a dragon in the clan castle, which is super easy to kill with my heroes. Very easy 3-star, taking advantage of the flaw of having the queen near an air sweeper and an air defense. Definitely look for that when you're scouting bases. So now for another replay, and this replay is just to show that if you have one of those mismatches against a Town Hall 10 with single infernos, then this is one of the first things you're going to want to consider, especially in a case like this where you have an air defense next to an air sweeper. If you take out an air sweeper, then there is guaranteed going to be a path for your loons where you barely have to deal with the sweeper. Now, also, there's going to be an important point to make here. So I'm going to go ahead and hit play. I'm going to speed it up. You're going to see me zap the queen along with the air defense and the sweeper. And there's the lure. Now, this is going out to the corner here. My heroes are going to take care of that, no problem. But if you look over here, you see this ground expo over here. Now, you may be thinking this isn't a threat, okay? But it's extremely important to get that. The reason is, there is an arc of defenses going around. And if I don't take that, then my loons could take this and this out, and then once they get here, the closest building could be over there, and then I will end up wasting a bunch of loons. So it's really important I make it a point to make sure my first group of loons goes here, so that once this goes down, there's nowhere else to go for my loons but together around this way. And once the beginning is done, the rest of the attack is super easy, and these single infernos actually make it easier just because they ensure that my hounds are going to pop, because I don't have to wait long and I don't have to hold my hastes. And as you can see, the hero goes down very easily. I'll slow this down to normal speed. And as you can see, my first group of loons is a big one on that first expo. Even though it's a ground expo, it's a threat because it could cause my loons to split. I don't want that. Here's my second hound, my third hound. Always remember, 2 hounds on the first air defense, and then you use your high level hound on the next one. And then now let's pause right here. You notice how you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 defenses all in a tight little circle? Well, this is a good place to use your rage spell on your loons, okay? And you're going to see I'm going to use my rage spell, and my loons are just going to burn through this area very easily. Boom. See, that rage placement covers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 defenses, and my loons make quick work of this. Under a rage, 1 loon will take out most defenses, except for an expo, okay? And I'll just speed it back up, because at this point, this thing is over, okay? I've held on to a loon, which I probably should have dropped to tank that wizard tower, but like I said, all my hounds pop, so you see how many pups are there. And it's just a nice, easy, clean 3-star with a swag haste. So there are many ways to Laloon, but especially for people with low heroes, this is the one that is the most versatile in my opinion. Okay, if you are curious about another way to Laloon, I'll leave a card up here. I'll also leave a link to Cast and Blast's channel. He is the guy who I used as a reference to learn how to do this attack on my own. Now, keep in mind, these videos are very outdated just because of the lightning spell, but if you just watch those videos and keep in mind that the lightning spell has changed a lot, and just look at how he deploys his loons and how he plans his loon pathing, that should be very helpful. And also, the last thing, keep in mind, this is one of the more powerful armies, not just at Town Hall 9, but beyond, and there are a lot of players who do not know how to use this attack, so don't make that mistake. Figure out how to learn this attack and dominate from this point on in Clash of Clans. So I hope this was helpful. Again, this strategy is a good contender if you're looking for one strategy to rule them all, but by all means, if this was helpful, leave a like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for more guides like this.